Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. Today I want to talk about, does workers' compensation have to pay to retrain you? Now, first let's talk about why this is an issue. Serious work injuries often make it difficult for you to return to the type of work that you've done in the past. Now, this video is going to specifically talk about Georgia's workers' compensation law. Different states have different workers' compensation laws, so it's very important to be aware of the workers' compensation law that applies to the state that your workers' compensation claim is in. Again, this video is talking specifically about Georgia law. So, does the workers' compensation insurance company have to pay to retrain you in a Georgia workers' compensation claim? Well, usually not, even if that retraining is needed because of the injury that you've had at work. Under Georgia workers' compensation law, there's several different types of workers' compensation benefits. There are wage loss benefits. Those are temporary total disability or temporary partial disability. There's medical benefits. That's the insurance company paying for you to get the medical treatment and testing you need with authorized medical providers. There are permanent partial disability benefits, which is the workers' compensation insurance company compensating you for a permanent impairment you have as a result of a workers' compensation injury. Retraining falls under a fourth type of benefit, which is known as rehabilitation benefits. Unfortunately, in Georgia, rehabilitation benefits are normally not mandated for the insurance company to pay. Under Georgia's workers' compensation law, rehabilitation benefits are only paid if both you and the insurance company agree to rehabilitation. So, if the insurance company does not want to agree, then they don't have to provide rehabilitation benefits in most Georgia workers' compensation cases. Now, are there situations where the insurance company can be forced to pay rehabilitation benefits in a Georgia workers' compensation claim? Yes. If your workers' compensation claim qualifies for what's called a catastrophic designation, then rehabilitation benefits must be provided. What does a catastrophic designation mean? Well, it applies to certain types of severe injuries, and there's 6 different types. Those 6 types are certain types of burn injuries, certain types of brain injuries, certain types of spinal cord injuries, certain types of amputations, certain types of blindness, and then a catch-all provision which applies if you suffer an injury which prevents you from returning to work that's available in substantial numbers in the national economy and also prevents you from doing your prior work. Now, this does not mean that if you suffer an amputation or a burn or a spinal cord injury or a brain injury that you're automatically going to qualify for a catastrophic designation. Each one of those types of injuries has a specific designation under Georgia's catastrophic workers' compensation law. So you have to look at specifically what is required to be proven and then have to meet that standard in order to qualify for a catastrophic designation. But if your workers' compensation case does qualify for a catastrophic designation, then you would qualify for rehabilitation benefits. You would have a catastrophic rehabilitation supplier assigned to your case who would be responsible for coming up with rehabilitation plans. The goal of those rehabilitation plans would be to provide you with the items and services that you need to return you to the least restrictive lifestyle possible. And often this could include retraining or going back to school if that would be a benefit to you. Now, again, it is important to know that very few cases qualify for a catastrophic designation. So, what can you do to get retrained if your Georgia workers' compensation case does not qualify for a catastrophic designation? This is a very important question because, as I mentioned, most workers' compensation cases are not going to qualify for a catastrophic designation. but you still may have an injury that prevents you from going back to doing the type of work that you used to do. And there are limits under Georgia's workers' compensation law on how long you can receive wage loss benefits. So many times you may suffer a severe injury, but are going to need to return to work at some point in the future. So what can you do about this? Well, if you have an attorney representing you in your workers' compensation case, there are some potential solutions to this problem. One solution is to take advantage of the medical benefits provided under Georgia's workers' compensation law, making sure that you get all the medical treatment and testing you need to get you as close to 100% as possible. The better you recover from your injury, the more likely you're going to be able to return to the type of work that you did in the past, or at least something close to that. So that can be a potential solution. Another potential solution is to look at settlement of your workers' compensation case as an opportunity to potentially get the retraining that you need. Settlement of a workers' compensation case is not anything that you ever have to do, but most of the time insurance companies are going to want to settle with you. So if settlement provides you with a lump sum amount of money that you can then use to go back and get retrained, then settlement can be a potential option for you to get back to work. You could have a plan in place where you settle your case and then know what your retraining is going to cost and what type of work you're going to go back and do after that retraining. So again, this is another potential solution to the problem of insurance companies not having to pay for retraining in Georgia workers' compensation cases. But it is very important to make sure that you make a good decision about settlement. Once you settle your Georgia workers' compensation case and that settlement is approved by a workers' compensation judge, that decision is final, so you cannot go back and change it later. So settlement is something that it's very important to consider the potential consequences before you move forward with finalizing the settlement. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the free consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.